Good morning, February the 21st, 2017. This is CISG113, Section 1, Information Security and Privacy. Today is day number 9 in the week number, do you remember that? 5. Okay, we're starting out our learning contract number 2, but in the meantime, we're going to have a round of presentations for work done in the first learning contract. So each student is going to be given, at most, 5 minutes time to present that journal topic, and 11 of the students here sign up for this Friday. So with the remaining students in this class, we're going to invite them to do these presentations one by one. But now this, okay, thank you very much. Still remember, this is our website, and this is very important for us. Let me just take a look at the number of participants in our website now. So we are going to have 28 students, 30 means including me and the teaching assistants. So with these 28 students, we are going to have 28 presentations this week, with 14 allocated today and 14 on Friday. So when we come to sign up, good morning. So when we come to sign up on the pages minutes ago, we discovered that 11 of you have already signed up for this Friday, and none of you have signed up for today. Now, as I have already informed you, we cannot afford another week to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the form. So if you have not signed up on Friday, we are just assuming that you're going to do it today. So in a minute, I'm going to invite one of you, all of you one by one, to do the 5 minutes presentations. Having said that, we need to do something in order to save the time towards the end of the presentations. The attendance call first, okay? So today we're going to do attendance call at the beginning of the class. Ensure that we have students right here. So Koi, are you here? Koi, thank you very much. Anson, you're not here today. Tracy, thank you very much. Alfonso, you're not here today. Neon, you're not here today. Okay. Franco, thank you. And then Clears, you're not here yet. Juno, you're not here today. Shadow, thank you very much. Jerry, you're here. Carol Wong, thank you very much. Henry Wong, he will be here, but late. Okay, so we are going to give him a late first. Not late. Leave it open until he's coming back. Steve is not here. Samko, is it dropping the class? He will drop the class, right? Okay, so let's give him an absence. And then Tina, are you here? Tina, you're not here. And then Marco, thank you. And then Maggie, you're here, thank you. Vincent, thank you, very good. And then Jeff, thank you. Cherry, is it dropping the class also? Okay, good. White John, are you here today? White John is not here, okay. And then Henry New, not here, okay? Henry, okay, sorry, Henry, you're here. Thank you. Don't Yin, thank you very much. And then Carrie, are you here? Not here, okay? Carol O, not here yet. Okay, good. And then let's say attendance. All right, so having said that, let's go to the second page to continue the attendance call. Nicholas, looks like he's not here for some time. Gavin, you're here, thank you. Jose, you're here. Tiger, you're here, thank you very much. Oh, Jose, you're here. Oh, I'm sorry. Jose, Nicholas is here. Salute. All right, thank you. Wonderful. All right, so let's move on to the very important part of your presenting your topic. Now, before doing that, allow me to give you you some statistics, okay? The statistic indicates the kind of response that I should expect. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the individual proposal received out of the 28 persons that we expect. We got 18 proposals, it's not that bad. It's more than two-thirds of the class, okay? Because we just have 28 students, we got 18. So the remaining 10 did not submit it, all right? So the second page, it's the second link, all right? Okay, let's take a look at the journals. So again, out of the 28 students, we have received 18 journals. Which is very good, okay? I do not expect all of you to submit it on time, but basically, it's within the margins of expectations. All right, the third. Let's take a look at the third. Yes, let's take a look at the third. So, what about the discussion forum? I expect this should be a fewer number than the previous one. Okay, that's true. 13. Because you need to put together your learning partner. And during this time, maybe some of you discover your learning partner would like to quit the course. And normally you cannot have enough of the discussion forums here. So 13. Look at the previous figures, 18, all right? So the last item is the PowerPoint. Let's take a look at how many of you submitted PowerPoint. 14. Now look at that. The number of students who submit the journal, 18. Once you have got your journal ready, it's enough material for you to prepare your PowerPoint. But now we have 4 fewer students who did not submit the PowerPoint, but they did submit the journal. So it's very interesting for us to observe this phenomenon. So let's come back, okay, before I pass the time to you to do the in-class presentations. Let's take a look at what we should have learned in the first 4 weeks, okay? In the first 4 weeks of this class, we consider this as a period to develop your inquiry-based learning ability. The core idea of inquiry-based learning ability is the way you feel comfortable enough to ask questions, okay? Because we want to make sure that you have the comfort to question into the topic of your interest. Now, the act is questioning into something. What is meant by questioning into something? Put it very simply, it's your ability to ask the right questions. So, my observations throughout the first 4 weeks of this class, although there was a break before the Chinese New Year's holiday, actually in between, a break of about 2 weeks for the Chinese New Year's holiday. And we have first 2 weeks, and then the Chinese New Year's holiday, and the last 2 weeks, and then I discovered that this is quite an interesting class, because many of you asked questions before the Chinese New Year's holiday, but many of you did not ask questions after the Chinese New Year's holiday, except that minutes or hours before the deadline. So, and I would say that the exercise itself, although it's important for you to earn 10 semester points, but only 10. Why is it 10? Because even though you did not submit this learning contract number 1, it's just 10 semester points, okay? It does not hurt you. And there are also many opportunities called bonus work which will offer you this 10 bonus point, okay? So it's not a big problem. But the idea of doing this assignment is to see how comfortable each one of you are after going through the first 4 weeks, actually 6 weeks of the semester, including 2 weeks in holiday. How comfortable do you feel to do something as an indicator of your responses to your learning in this course? Now, the only purpose of the assignment that you have to submit is for me as an instructor to observe your personal growth in the first 4 weeks of this particular class. And I explained to all of you from day 1 of this class, this is not the kind of disciplinary education class. It's a class in the area of general education. In other words, We are trying to help you to pick up speed on your personal pace of learning. Okay? So the kind of exercise that you're going to do here in the first learning contract depends very much on your decision-making ability. Okay? It should not waste you a lot of time. I should not say waste. It should not consume a lot of time from you, because what you need to do to complete the exercise is to understand, as many of you have asked me over email and also conversations at the end of class, you need to take a good look at what we went through in the first 4 weeks. And my way of doing it, other than just coming to class telling you what we have to do, is I'm going to use a website like this to make sure you understand. This is week number 1, week number 2, week number 3, week number 4. Now, this is a very important records. A records of what? As a teacher, we need to give you enough of the scaffolding. This is a scaffolding, meaning, oh, I don't know what to do. So come here to make sure you study some of those important things to pick up speed on the design of this website. The website is designed to help you 24/7. 24/7. That means 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's there. It's going to help you, good morning, please. It's going to help you follow through what you need to study and what you need to learn. But it's also an important part of your decision making. Now remember, decision making to decide on what you need to do. I'm so glad, okay? Some of you ask me, how many journals do we need to write? Okay, you tell me how many journals do you need to write. Now, based on the semester scale, if you want to earn the 15 semester points on the Learn to Learn part of this semester's 15 semester point, you need to prepare throughout the whole semester 5 journals, okay? And for each of the 5 journals you prepare, you need to write a blog. So for each of the 5 journals, you got 1 point, so 5 points. And for each of the blog you write based on the journal, you got 2 points. So altogether, you have 15 points. But these 5 journals and these 5 blogs written on the 5 journals are not due here, okay? Are not due on the first learning contract. They are due before the end of this semester, which is April the 30th, right? Something like this, okay? So you do not need to care those 5 journals or blogs as far as this learning contract is concerned. Now this is question 1 answer. So how many journals do you need to submit for this learning contract number 1? Repeatedly, I say single one, only 1 journal. And then people are smart enough. How many topics do we need to include in that journal? And I say only 1. Okay, so 1 journal based on 1 topic. Now, everybody knows this, okay, except for those who may not come to class. And then some student asked me before the end of last Friday, which topic should we choose for my journal? Okay, I say, good, you must not have been in my class. Anyway, I pondered out that. In the very first week, we have reading for week number 1. In the second week, we have reading for week number 2. In the third week, we have reading for week number 3. And in the fourth week, we have reading for week number 4. So if you want to take a good look at all the reading lists, you just need to click 1 button, okay? That single button will help you through, okay, what reading you can choose, okay? Now we have the reading list here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for each reading list, we have some questions, okay? We have 2 questions in the first reading list. Each of these questions represent 1 topic, okay? So if you're going to write only 1 journal based on 1 topic, you need to make a decision on which topic you want to use. Now this is only from week number 1. We still have another list for week number 2, okay? Again, 2 topics, and we have another list for week number 3, okay? right here, week number 3. Okay? So again, we have finally for week number 4. So out of the 4 weeks of reading list, we offer to each one of you a total number of 9 topics to choose only one to write a journal. Okay? And your journal, the only journal you need to write is only one journal, and the journal is about only one topic. And that topic is up to you to choose out of the 9. Okay? You understand that? Alright? So this is very simple. So after you have chosen a specific topic, like these questions here, okay? We want you to make sure that you need to choose at least one of these sources to explore that topic. So in your proposal, you need to indicate, number 1, which reading list you have chosen, which question under that reading list you have chosen, and which information source under that question you have chosen. So these 3 important pieces of information must be put in your proposal. These could be done by only simple decision making, okay? But you need to go through it to make a decisions, all right? Now, you have already chosen your question, including the information source, to start doing a journal, okay? So what next? According to the instructions given to you, you have a choice to come up with what we call your personalized question based on the big questions. Okay? So if this is the big question called what is information literacy? You can choose to do a question which is very much personalized to your interest based on that big question, such as what is information literacy for college education? Or what is information literacy for secondary education? Or what is information literacy for primary education? Okay? Or any other related personalized question that has something to do with this big question. Okay? So if you have your personalized questions, put it down in your proposal. This is my personalized question. Okay? Now once you have already got your personalized questions, you need to provide, this is the lessons of last week's information literacy, 3 relevant references which will convince you I have enough sources to study my topic, which is expressed by my personalized questions. Okay, now how do you find the sources? You can go to the library, physical sources like journals, like magazines, like newspapers, like books, whatever you can name it. Or electronic sources like databases which contain specific articles on a topic of your interest. We showed you how to look at it last week, right? At the University of Macau Library, we have a lot of things like this. And then we asked you, now you have your big question, you have your personalized questions, you have your references. Think a little bit more about what important questions you want to explore underneath the big questions, underneath your personalized questions. So you need to come up with 3 sub-questions, right? And then for each of these 3 sub-questions, you do not need to provide answer. You don't need to do that. But towards the end of your proposal, you need to write a very simple English paragraph which contains not more than 200 English words. And you have to explain why you choose this topic as simple as possible. Okay? So when you do the presentations today, you just need to tell the whole class which reading list you have chosen, which question you have chosen, which information source you have chosen. This is my personalized questions. These are my 3 references. These are my 3 questions to explore, and a little bit of your note taking. Right? 5 minutes, that's it. This is your 5 minutes. Right? And once you've done this, you earn at least one in-class sharing, and you have already got 4 points. Semester points. Because throughout the semester, each one of you is expected to do 5 in-class sharing, earning each time 4 semester points, altogether 20 semester points. And you need that 20 semester points. You need to pass the course, you want to get an A, you want to get a B, you need a strict 20 points earned. So today is an important opportunity to get 4 points into your pocket. Have you got your information ready? If so, alright, so may I invite you to come up here to do your presentation. Now, when you do your presentations, remember this, okay? You sign up for today's presentations in week number 4's Public Online Discussion Forum here, okay? Do you remember that? You sign up from here, this particular link. You sign up here. Now, many of you sign up for Friday, okay? But remember, before you do the presentations, you provide your PowerPoint, which contains not more than 5 slides here, okay? Upload your PowerPoint here. So, for those of you who are going to do it on Friday, make sure you come back here, click Edit, and drag your PowerPoint into the upload box. And so when you're going to do your 5 minutes presentations, you come here, use my computer, and click on your PowerPoint here. You don't use a USB at that time. If you use a USB, it's too late, okay? You need to upload your PowerPoint here, the link where you sign up, and when you do the 5 minutes presentations, you use my computer. Okay, could I give you 5 minutes to upload your PowerPoint if you have your PowerPoint ready and you're going to do it today? So, first of all, if you want to do it today, grab your 4 points, come back here to sign up. The way to sign up is very simple. Click on this reply button, okay? Click on this reply button. Type your name, day number 9, which is Tuesday today, and then upload your PowerPoint. You need to get your PowerPoint ready, all right? So, now, do you understand why this presentation is important? Because it's a very good summary of what you did in the previous 4 weeks, okay, before you carry on with what you're going to do in the next 3 weeks. Have you got your PowerPoint ready? Well, my observation is we have 3 students, we have 5 students, 8 students, and we have 5 students, 13 students, 16 students, 17 students. 17, all right? So assuming all of you have not done anything until this moment, the next job I would like to invite you is based on my instructions again, just draft a simple information for you to present, okay? You can always get PowerPoint from the Office Mix, which is available for all UM students at your own device. So you can create a PowerPoint easily, okay? Try to do something in class, all right? So may I give you 10 minutes to work together to make sure everyone will get your PowerPoint to share your specific information? Oh, may I ask you this question? How many of you here have already submitted your stuff? Could you raise your hand? Through the submission link. How many of you here? Okay, your table, have you submitted? Not yet, okay? So make sure you submit before the end of this week, because you still have a chance on Friday to submit, okay? Have you submitted the learning artifacts for learning country number 1 this past weekend? Okay, that's good. If you have not, make sure you do it before the end of this week, alright? Because you still have Friday to present. Don't lose your chance to earn the points. Have you submitted? You know, it's okay, don't worry. You can create it again. You can come back to do the presentation on Friday. It's not one-off, it's time for you to change, okay? Correct the problem, alright? Yeah. Don't worry much about this. You have not presented, okay? But you have already submitted 1 version, right? It's okay. Provide an update version. Who said that we cannot provide an update? Alright? When you do the presentation, use the best versions possible, alright? The purpose of this class is to make sure that it's not one-off. You have submit your versions as of that time, and you know that it's not good, you create another versions. This forum here is to receive your latest versions as many times as you want. Just keep a record there. This tells me that you're very serious about your work. It's okay. Make sure, don't worry much about it. Have you submitted your work? Good. Are you ready to present today? Not? So, do you have your PowerPoint ready? So, remember, you need to upload your PowerPoint there, okay? This Friday? This Friday, okay? Good. Okay? Carol, it's okay? Have you submitted your PowerPoint there? It's okay, just spend time doing it now. I'll give you 10 minutes. Okay? Get something done, clear. Clear what you need to do. Okay, let me just show you one more time. Now you have already submitted those items, right? Okay, that's good. So when you do the in-class presentations of your journal topic, you need to come back to this forum. First, you need to sign up if you want to do it. So go to week number 4. In week number 4, you go to the public online discussion forum. And under the public online discussion forum, you go to sign up, okay? And then the way to sign up is to press reply. Okay? Once you press reply, you choose today's date for Friday. And then you upload the PowerPoint there by drag the PowerPoint file into the upload policy. It could be an improved version. It could be, because you submit one version and if you think it's not good enough, you can always add things, improve it here. That is the PowerPoint I'm going to look at in your grade. Okay? So you need to learn how to be a mature student. This is college. Before the deadline, you submit something already, which is represent the best work you can present before the deadline. But since we have this much arrangement for you to present something, so when you present something, and I've already given you this forum, you can always upload the best possible PowerPoint there, okay, in order to present your work. So that means it's not a cut off like straight. We still give you time to do the best work you can. That's the reasons why we give you the time here in class to present your work. All right? So this is how you can learn something. All right? So if you have not prepared your PowerPoint, according to what I just said, normally it just takes about 10 minutes to put things together. Okay? Trust me, I think the longest time you need to spend for the proposal is to look up the Weatherford references using the database. And once you design which frame, the next item you need to spend some time is to put together a paragraph to explain the reasons why you choose this topic. All right? So you need to learn how to be in charge of the learning process. I don't want to be a mean teacher. There's nothing, I don't need to be mean here because the most important thing is I gave you the opportunity to express yourself, to express what you learned. All right? All right? So help yourself get things ready. So what happened to Cherry and Samko? They think it's too difficult for them, so they want to quit. Okay. Good. I think you guys are great. Okay. Your language is very great. It's very good. This is a general education course. There's nothing to fear about. Are you ready to present something today? Then you want to do it on Friday, right? Okay. Share with Carol what she missed on the first half hour of the class, okay? The most important thing, as I said, for the first learning contract is, do you feel comfortable to question A to someone, okay? To raise questions about your learning, including what you need to do. Now, give you time to talk, and then we'll come back in about 5 minutes to share with you what you need to learn in week number 5. Henry, are you back? Not yet, right? It's not yet. Okay. So Carol, you're back. Okay, that's good. That's good. If you really cannot understand what I said, neighbors, we'll talk about this in Chinese during the break, okay? Today is day number 9, okay? Day number 9 into the semester and week number 5, okay? If you look at the calendar, we're getting into the second learning contract. Now the second learning contract has a theme which is a little bit different from the first learning contract, but actually is not a break from the first learning contract, it's a continuation of the first learning contract. In the first learning contract, the theme is IBL, inquiry-based learning, ability to question into something. In the second learning contract, the theme is self-regulated learning. That means how do you manage your learning, okay? Now that you know how to question into something, how do you manage? Manage in what way? First of all, whatever you do, you need to set goals. Goals. You want to reach the goals. Okay? When you spend time learning something, you do have some goals. The minimum goals that you need to accomplish is that you need to finish the work that is expected to earn the score, pass the course. Okay? But the deeper aspect of this self-regulated learning is how do you set goals for your learning with a timeline? You do not have all the time to do something. At any time to do something, you have a time limit. For example, 1 week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks. And for the learning contract number 2, the timeline is 3 weeks. Okay? So you need to set goals about getting things done within 3 weeks. Now, what exactly are your goals? This is something you need to fill in the blank. Now, within 3 weeks' time, you need to get things done. You need to get things done with a certain result, okay? That is possibly your goals. And when you get things done, you need resources. Resources to get things done, such as human resources. You have to be there to get things done. Your partners need to be there to get things done. Human resources. Secondly, time resources. You must single out enough time to get things done. That's why the timeline is at most 3 weeks. But within 3 weeks, you don't spend all the hours within 3 weeks. For example, 24/7 times 3. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 3 weeks. 24 times 7 times 3 hours. You don't spend all your hours there. So you need to make sure you have the ability to identify the number of hours that are important for you to spend to get things done. Self-regulated learning invites you to put into practice something very important for your future. That is, you must know your limitations in terms of the time allowed. You must not forget the goals within which time you need to accomplish the goals. You must not forget how much resources you have, such as number of people you have, the time, as well as when you study something, the knowledge resources you have. Okay? If you don't have the knowledge resources, you need to look it up. That is what we introduced to you last week on information literacy. So, but we do have two topics in this week, on week number 5. The first one is privacy. The second one is encryption. Now, we studied something about privacy in the previous weeks, in particularly when you saw the video with the kid playing with the social media, with the photos, the curious photo. He would like to upload to the social media, but he was stopped by his mother and asking him the question, do you really know what the 170 people in the social circle will think about what you're doing? Do you really want to upload photos of this? Would you and your friends in underpants? And then here is the issues of online privacy. And then here is the questions. How can we ensure that whatever we upload into the social media or whatever we upload into the internet is well protected according to our wish? And so people introduce the idea of encryptions. Well, I can always encrypt the data. So the encrypted data will not be made visible to anyone who can easily see what it means. And so whenever I want this particular information to be sent to a particular recipient, I will enable him to decrypt the message so that he or she can read what is intended. So encryption is basically a way, a technology that we use to ensure online privacy in the work, information security, when we send something over in electronic medium, particularly in today's web, in the context of the internet. But even though you have the ability to encrypt something in today's web, people can easily attack a particular site in the web, attack in a sense to destroy something, to steal something, to stop people from doing something, and they know much better than you do, much better than I do, okay? There are many vulnerabilities in the intellect. We're talking about loopholes in different systems. Through these loopholes, they could sneak into your system, they could seize your data, they could lock your data, and they ask you to pay ransom for your data seized. And so, in today's world, we have this kind of professions called information security professional. They know how to study the system in your organizations. They perform what we call mock attack into your system to test the robustity of your system. And if they succeed in intruding the system, they will tell you, now I will tell you that you can pay me right because we discover loopholes in your system. At the University of Macau, every day our ICT people is monitoring the safety of our campus network to see if any hackers want to hack into the system and do something which is not what we intend. So we need to ensure, before the hackers know, how many vulnerabilities we have in the system, how many loopholes we have, so that we could defend ourselves, protect from the web attacks. So this is very interesting. Now today I want to introduce to you the issues by giving you some stories on CNN, okay?
Sure. You know, if you think the photos and information you post on sites like Facebook and Twitter are safe, CISG research found that privacy is dead. What you post, even the innocent stuff, can end up hurting you.
Dick Hart put photos of his Hawaiian wedding on Facebook to share with close friends, but when he made mention of it on Twitter, he didn't know a link would be attached, giving more than 3,000 followers access to some rather intimate images.
We didn't think they were offensive in any way, but my wife didn't prefer for everybody to see those photos.
While his case was embarrassing, others are downright dangerous. Sarah Downey was horrified when a picture of her young daughter was hijacked from her Flickr account and used in a sexually suggested Portuguese language profile on Orchid.com, a social networking site.
It broke my heart. It broke my heart.
Downey posted a translation to warn other Flickr users, but then, she says, total strangers exploited the internet to find her phone number and, worse, her home address.
We would go to the grocery store and I'd wonder, has this person seen my daughter? Are they here, trying to find us, trying to, get close with my daughter?
Since then, Downey has tried to protect her private information. Has it worked? With her permission, we gave her name to Stephen Rambam, a private investigator who harvests information from the internet. In less than 90 seconds, he turns up 100 pages of possible links.
Frankly, anything you'd want to know about this young lady seems to be available on the web.
On sites like YouTube, Facebook, MySpace, and Twitter, more and more Americans are making their private information public. Put it together with public documents like newspaper accounts and property records and a portrait emerges. Take Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. Using free, publicly available information on the internet, a Fordham University Law School class came up with 15 pages of information, including Scalia's home address and phone number, even movies and foods he likes.
If we were willing to spend $100 for the project, we would have been able to acquire far more intrusive, far scarier information.
Private investigator Rambam says anytime you hit the send button, your information is no longer your own. He says your frequent flyer program, movie account, book purchases, even some searches can be tracked, stored, and sometimes sold.
I have a window into your soul. I know what you believe. I know what you think. I know who your family is. I know who your friends are. I know your politics.
Orchid.com says it has updated its policies and tools to find and remove fake profiles like the one of Sarah Downey's daughter. And Google says it gives customers the tools they need to protect their personal information. Many of us could be more careful. In addition, some privacy experts would like to see standardized and simplified website privacy policies or even government restrictions on secondhand use of private information.
Stephen Rambam sees a lot of positives to having so much information on the internet and says the genie is already out of the bottle.
10 years from now, you're going to have a choice of getting used to minimal privacy or subleasing the Unibarber's cabin. That's going to be your two choices. The fact of the matter is there's nowhere to hide.
As Rambam puts it, privacy is dead. Get over it. Gene Meserve, CNN, Washington.
And we're pushing forward now with the next hour of CNN Newsroom with T. Pure. You know that you think the photos and information you post on site.
You see the two stories here is about photos. So it happens that it's very innocent, right? As my wife would say to me, never put our kids' photos online. Okay? You can always put something which is share with someone else, but never try to do it because we want to eliminate any possibility like this. Look at what happened to that 5-year-old girl. Just one photo. Someone took it from, you don't know where it is. And then the hacker who took the photo obviously knows some background information about the kid. And they put a mischief on that kid. Put the little girl's photo with that kind of Photoshop script of the text in such a way that she's posting herself as a young prostitute. Okay? In a Portuguese website for all those philanderos to check, oh, this is a profile. Oh my goodness, you're spoiling this kid's life. Have you ever imagined something like this which is going to happen to you? Someday you are posed in a particular website or with your face, and that website is what we call pornography website. People perceive that you're one of those members of the group out there for service, and you know what I mean. Your whole life will be ruined. Now people will not questions about it, just assume that, oh, you're that person. So how can we protect ourselves? Another thing that you can see here is the wedding photos, supposed to be private photos. Today we have, you're going to learn something about, we have the social media site for uploading photos to share with your friends. Okay, but what if the security of those sites has been breached and people get access to the photo and took it out and distributed around the world? You never know that. This is what happened in the States. But I'm sure something like this will happen in China. Okay, so what have we learned from these lessons on privacy? Okay, so this is the first topic you need to learn. Privacy means what? Here it said privacy is dead. Dead, for what reasons? They gave you more than 3 stories of personal encounter of how the privacy were breached by someone in the internet. All right, so this is a CNN story, but of course this happened a couple of years ago. It's going to happen again. Encryptions.
Today, with companies transmitting an increasing amount of information over the internet, more and more sensitive business data is put at risk. It's now easier than ever for you and your employees to send information from a laptop, phone, or other computer anywhere you go. And that also means that your data is more open to attack by hackers and thieves. Managed service providers and IT management companies use a variety of methods to help keep critical business data safe, including data encryption. These companies use data encryption as an advanced security tool to ensure the protection and confidentiality of your important information. So what exactly does encryption mean? Data encryption is a key part of any business's IT security plan. Simply put, encryption means to put data into a kind of secret code in order to protect it and disguise it. Only a person or a computer who understands the code will be able to decipher the information. In terms of data protection, encryption is vital in keeping your confidential information protected and secure. When you send sensitive information such as credit card or bank account numbers over the internet, you want that information to be inaccessible if it gets into the wrong hands. Therefore, encryption works to hide this information from anyone who shouldn't have access to it. Codes have been used for hundreds of years to send sensitive information. Today, computer-generated algorithms are guides for encryption. They provide a way to create a message and secure it much more effectively than a human-created code. When it comes to encryption, there are many different levels available. In general, the higher the encryption level or complexity of the code used, the safer your information will be. High encryption levels protect you against brute force attacks in which thieves or hackers use a computer program to simply try out various combinations of characters to see if they're able to crack the code. Higher levels of encryption increase the number of possibilities that must be tried to access a particular document, account, or file. So, 128-bit encryption is much more secure against brute force attack than a 40-bit encryption, and 256-bit encryption is stronger than 128-bit. When it comes down to it, data encryption provides an important layer of protection for a business's data. Encryption technology is available for both on-site and off-site storage, providing peace of mind and security for data regardless of where it's located or what happens to it. Working with a professional IT services company like ours will help ensure your data is properly encrypted. Contact us today to learn more about keeping all of your critical business information protected and secure.
This is actually an ad. Okay, you know what an ad is? Advertisement of the service to protect your data. I remember I told you stories on ransomware, which happened actually frequently last year. Ransomware is the kind of software which the hacker can plant into your organizations to seize all the data in your organizations and encrypt it such a way that you do not have the ability to decrypt it without their keys. Okay? And so, because data is very important for the operations of the company, they say, pay the ransom and we're going to give you back the data. So, online hijack of informations, online demand of ransom before release of your data. So you understand a little bit more about encryptions through this app, all right? So basically, it's a method which is going to protect the data by changing it from one form to a form which is not easily intelligible by people. And then in order to restore, encrypt the data into the original form so that you can, or your recipient can read it, you provide what we call a decryption key, all right? So maybe this is the idea. And they said the stronger your method, which could be represented by the number of bits of the specific method. So 128-bit is stronger than 40-bit, 256-bit is stronger than 128 bits. Okay, this is the kind of the strength of encryptions, all right? So you do not need to know much about computer stuff. And of course, if you are interested in doing that, we will show you the mathematics. And then let me show you the second part. Oh, it's so interesting. They closed the second part. Anyway, I could give you back the first one. From here, we could go for the second part. Yeah.
What is encryption? Think of encryption as a safe, a virtual safe. A safe where there is only one key. And you are the only one in the world who has that key. You can put files inside the safe, and you can remove files from the safe without anything being damaged or changed. If you lose your encrypted files or someone steals them, no worries. No one else can open your files because they don't have the key. Now, you may wonder, is it possible to hack encrypted files? Well, imagine a network of over 100,000 computers. It would take them 1.3 quadrillion years to guess an encryption key combination by brute force. Encryption is secure. Encryption is key.
Okay, you understand the meaning of why you succeed in doing the ransomware? Because time is very long for them to do that. Okay, now I've already given you the key for this week's topic, privacy and encryptions for day number 9. Actually on Friday, since we reserved the time for you to do the presentations, I would like you to explore the topics for day number 10. A little bit of here up, let me tell you, this is a very worthy piece. Because if you know nothing about what hacking is all about, the hack is a generic term. Hack means get into the system through some techniques, okay, technologies. And normally it carries a bad term. The reasons why you hack into a system because you want to tamper with something which does not belong to you. So just like stealing, you know, stealing is not right. If stealing happened in my house, that means my property is going to be taken away. So hacking by itself is not a good term. If your computer is being hacked, that means you got intruded. But if we add the word ethical before the word hacking, that means this particular act is done for the benefit of the system. Because if this hacker could hack into your system and discover the weakness of your system, this is how you can build a stronger system. So in the world today, there are professionals, expertise called ethical hacking. Many big companies, including government agencies, invite ethical hackers with very high skill to hack into the system to see how strong the system is. So ethical hacking, it's safe. It's done by hackers, they belong to the good guys, okay? But there is the dark side of hacking, which is done by the hackers, they belong to the bad guys. They can actually hack into your system, seize your files, and ask you for ransom. And here I've given you quite a number of very precise topics on hacking, which is explained in a very concise manner just a couple of minutes of explanations with terms done in a teacher-centered way. Let me show you one piece.
First off, defining the concept of ethical hacking. Ethical hacking at its core is using the techniques and tools, the approaches, the attacks that an attacker would use to identify vulnerabilities, document the vulnerabilities, and plan remediation. Many times, folks that aren't as familiar with security penetration tests or security analysis just assume that all security experts, especially IT security experts, are the same, that they use the same techniques, the same tools. They assume an auditor is the same as an analyst. They assume an ethical hacker uses the same tools as those folks as well. And that's simply not the case. Ethical hacking is different in this core function in that it uses the exact same methodology, the exact same tools that a hacker would use. Someone outside frequently the company, someone out of control of the company, to actually understand the network, penetrate, compromise, but do it in a way that's ethical, meaning that they document this, that they record the steps, they record the breaches, they record the parameters that they've used so that later on analysts and auditors can come and look at those results and determine what things may need to be done in the future to help prevent similar attacks, but from an unethical hacker down the road. This is a key difference. This key approach difference is really what separates this from anything else out there. When we talk about ethical hacking as well, one thing to remember is that ethical hackers follow specific rules and guidelines, and these are really, really important. The core rules of ethical hacking, first and foremost, do no harm. Do not destroy assets, do not wreck networks, do not deny service and actually affect real use of systems. Do not lock people out in a way that's not part of the plan. So doing no harm is really the big distinction between a cracker and an ethical hacker. A cracker or a true attacker, as part of their attack, may want to do harm, whether it's compromise sensitive data, deny service to legitimate users, destroy assets, and so forth. Ethical hacking differs there in that typically there's no destruction and no harm done. Ethical hacking is also really rooted in boundaries, understanding what systems can and cannot be attacked. For example, an online database that's critical to customer data or critical to transactions. That kind of database should never be attacked by an ethical hacker unless it's part of the ethical hacker's boundaries, unless that database is specifically included. Most businesses that are being run 24 hours, 7 days, most businesses will not want an ethical hacker to approach any critical business systems because it could simply impact business. So understanding what those boundaries are up front and then honoring those boundaries is absolutely critical. Countermeasures are not part of the ethical hacking process. As you are examining networks and footprinting and determining vulnerabilities and installing compromises, that process doesn't include at every stage, well, I wonder how I would defend against this. That's not part of ethical hacking. Ethical hacking is getting in, finding the vulnerabilities, documenting as you go, certainly, but countermeasures are usually considered only after an entire ethical hacking process is complete. After you're successful, after you've compromised vulnerabilities, after you've actually owned the network, so to speak, that's when you worry about, I wonder how this company, my company, any company could protect against this. That's when that research.
May I jump in? So if I'm a theft, that I'm going to steal something from your house, should I assume do no harm to all the people inside your house? Okay, this could be good. An ethical thief. I just need money. I don't want to kill you. Oh, I cheated that? Oh my, yes I am. Okay, you understand the meaning of that. Define on the boundary. Okay, now I'm going only to crack into one house, not the other house. So one after the other. So this time I'm not going to steal anything from any other house. Consider countermeasures only after hacking is complete. Now that I finished stealing things from your house, now I can tell you, as the house owner, what you can do to avoid something similar to happen to you. Get agreement in advance. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to intrude your house sometime in this month, but I'm not going to tell you when. You just need to know that I'm going to intrude your house. Will you agree that I'm intruding your house? Okay, something like that. Document everything. Now, I promise, after my intrusions, I'll document everything I did in order to intrude your house. But I'm good. I stole 3 important pieces from your house. Now, let me tell you what it is. I'm going to return all of this. Now you learn the lessons how to build a strong house for better protections. Every hacker is going to do something under this principle. But what about cracker? Never pay attention to things like this, because my purpose is just to get everything to my benefit. But an ethical hacker is a professional who acts as if the cracker, but everything he did up to that point is stopped. And they report back to you what you can do to enhance the protections. So it's a very interesting profession today, particularly in this internet world. We have all this kind of data around it. So I think I'm going to stop here today. Now, this is the kind of lessons you can rely on to get yourself informed on what's happening in the world. Because teachers behind the scenes will give you ideas by giving you the basic concept. And this is presented by Transit, free of charge. Okay? That's the kind of education for all the people. You don't need to pay high tuition fee to get yourself educated in those basic concepts. But of course, if you want hands-on experience, it's a different story. We cannot let you use a computer and plant a virus there and hurt someone. This is not possible, particularly in a college environment, unless you're doing an engineering course at a faculty there and in the lab, okay, which is well protected and you can try things out. Remember, the news documentary you saw on the very first day, people having coffee in a coffee cafe, free internet access, and then there's a people over there having a hacker who just direct all your traffic into his own computer, and with all your identity we know, and this is the way to collect data. Well, we don't want to do something like this here, because it's not the purpose of this course to have this kind of hacking experience, but give you the fundamental understandings of all of these. And so, you can see that with this page, I have given you more than one topic. Examples of typical web attacks, examples of typical internet vulnerabilities. DOS, very simple way to interpret denial of service, not DNAP students, okay? Denial of service. Normally, we cannot get into a system. I don't know what happened this morning. I can't even get into my email account. I try repeatedly, I put in my correct password, but I cannot do it. Oh, maybe the system is under denial of service attack. So your logged-in service is kept busy all the time, cannot be completed, and so you need to recognize this type of attacks. Read some of those lectures. Very short, 5 to 10 minutes each, but you can learn a lot. All right? So, but again, it's not the purpose of this course to enable you to become a trained person in this area, but give you the foundations, informations that here are the informations you need to get educated. All right? Particularly the meaning of vulnerability assessment on your company. Now, how do you protect your privacy, the data, when you work in a particular organizations in which everyone is given a computer, a particular account to operate with a computer? You know, the weakest link in every organization is the human. We easily subject ourselves to the attack of the hackers, just as it's reported in the news documentary. In that trade company, they discovered that they're being hacked. Reasons? One of the staff there used to engage in conversations with unknown persons actually could be the hackers stealing information from the company. So we need to have very strong discipline of not to engage other people with any information while you're working with the organization's computer while you're doing it. It's very easy to introduce the hacker into the company like this. Okay, it's almost time. I'm expecting that you're doing the presentation this Friday, so make sure you sign up on the forum there. Upload your PowerPoint before you come for the presentations. Each student 5 minutes, okay? I try to accommodate as much as we could, all right? So that's it for today. CISG113, Section 1, Information Security and Privacy, day number 9, February the 21st, 2017.